All right, we are live. Want to introduce yourself, Ryan? Anybody want to plug?
I'm still trying to bring it up, make sure it pops up on the YouTube. So just to make sure it is live.
Yeah,
All
me
right, there
too.
we go.
Yeah, it looks.
Ryan from RPS Dent Repair in Baltimore, Maryland.
David, Windy City, Chicago, Windy City Dent Repair.
And Chris, Dentless Touch, Washington D.C. And for the few people that are watching, welcome to the live Q&A. Let's see. You want to start off with some tools, like we always do.
Let Dave O start this week.
Yeah, he didn't have anything last week, so.
Yeah, I didn't have my adjustable door tool, but today
Yeah, you're right.
I have my trusty dent dial. I finally put a bend in it.
You mean rusty dent dial?
Mine is that part.
That's a little bit of that's an aggressive bend.
And it was actually it was bent a lot more. It was almost at a 90. I had to bend it for a Honda CRV front door that had the molding taken out. And I needed to get to that top body line. And there was nothing that was really going to give me the leverage that I needed. So I was like, you know what? I have this dent dial that I got at MTE. Let me see if I can put it to use.
That's my favorite tool.
This is the 22 heavy duty.
Mm-hmm.
It's the first time I used it last week, and I loved it. I didn't put a tip on it. I actually just used the metal tip itself. I just used it just like this, how it is. And I love it. And then I did a Lexus CT200 last week, fender, and I used a double bend from Ultra. And then Ryan over here was like, well, you have the dent dial. Why didn't you use that? And I said, I didn't even think to use it. So I have now actually just put this in my cart full time. So I've been using this more. I haven't, like I said, I haven't put any tips on it. I don't have any sales tips either. But so far I like it. 22 heavy duty.
Favorite tool, man.
Favorite tool. You know what? I watched your video. I'm like, why didn't you use a dent dial?
I know. Yeah, no, this is definitely in the cart now, full time.
If you're fixing fenders, I do a lot of fender smashes. That is the tool right there.
Mm-hmm.
Now I don't know how it is on wait time with getting one online. He had this at MTE, so I was able to buy it there right on the spot. But I know the wait time I think is a little longer if you do try to buy it online. But definitely recommended 22 heavy duty.
Do you have the other version?
No, I'm sure there's going to be the light duty. No.
No, you don't have it.
But I'm sure there's going to be instances where this isn't long enough. And I'm probably going to want that 35. And I'm going to probably kick myself in the ass for not having that. But so far, so good. I love the thing. I really like it. A good flat bar is always nice to have.
A little pricey, but they are.
It is.
A nice
tool. It is.
It is a nice tool.
No, definitely worth it. Definitely worth it.
Go for it, Chris. I'll go last today.
Okay, I got two tools. I was actually using them today. So these are the trusty Dentcraft brace tools, and I'll just pull one of them out. It's the same tool. There's a right and a left, red and a yellow. So there it is right here. And it comes in a set. There's you can buy it in a set of 6 and I believe a set of 9 or something, or 10 or something.
Definitely a must-have for any technician.
Yes. And it has that double bend. So they call it the brace tool set. BRC6 is the kit that I normally buy. It's $139. So if you guys are looking for some nice brace tools, to me, this is the most affordable set out, and you will not be disappointed.
Yeah, must have for any technician.
So I'll show you guys quickly the larger. I think this is the largest one. So I would say about maybe 22 inches. Maybe about 22 inches, 20 inches. And it still has that bend, that second bend in the middle of it. It's like a 30-degree bend. So on the foot is pretty long. So I actually really like this tool. So this is this is a kit that I buy all of my technicians when they first start out. So my second tool that I have, I was using this today too. I was working on a nice 95 Supra, I believe, or 96 Supra.
You're bringing a torch.
And it's a torch. It's a simple torch. And maybe some people that are watching don't know what we do with these or how we use them or how they are used day in day. But when it gets cold, we can heat the panel up with this. A lot of experienced techs. You might even see in Dave's video, he's actually heating a panel up with this torch. You have to really be careful, but if you know what you're doing, it's a quick way to heat that panel. They do have some flameless torches out now. I don't know where to get those, and I need to review those. But
Amazon.
what I've always used right here. Oh, it comes with flameless torch. Okay, so I need to order that. But this one, the propane lasts you forever. I think I may have gone through maybe 2 in my career, it seems like. But also, what I used it today was I heated the whale tail up and then cut the glue that was inside the door. So a lot of the beginner techs may be wondering how we cut the glue in the doors or get through some of these tight braced areas with the glue. You just heat the tool up really, really hot, maybe not cherry red, but close to it, and then pretty much cut the glue with it. So
I have a specific paddle tool that I use just to heat up with the torch.
okay.
So instead of using your good paddle tools, sometimes the glue will get stuck on there. It'll make them nasty. So I have one paddle tool that's a thin, older Dentcraft, and I just reheat that same one every time. It's just a nasty paddle tool that I use for cutting braces. So that's a good little tech tip for you guys.
Yeah. So all my I have the ultra whale tails, and they don't leave as much glue as maybe the Dentcraft. I think just by heating this up, you're actually taking off their little heat treatment or whatever, the coating that they put on there. But the Dentcraft ones, the ultra dent tools do not really leave that residue as you cut as much. Now they do, but it takes a very long time, many cycles of this. So that's my 2. So
I got a cute little tool today. I actually used it this afternoon. It's the tiny. I actually got this from. It's a Dentcraft tool.
Dentcraft, yeah.
There's a right and a left, and it's always that tool that like guys buy them all the time. They hang them in the rear view, little thing for a dent guy. Maserati door up by the trim, up on the molding. Couldn't find any other tool, and I'm digging through my box, and I'm like, I know I've got this thing. Fix a dent. $200 dent with this little tiny little tool that I've used twice. You can see, I mean, obviously it's bent, but that thing is awesome. Dentcraft sells them. It's not on their website, so you have to call. No, I haven't been able to find them.
Oh wow! I think it comes in like a little kit or something.
I found them at an MTE like 2 years ago or 3 years ago and bought them. I think I paid like $2 or $5 for them or something. So it's an awesome tool, certainly for tight accesses. You never know what you need. I have my little Dora Explorer backpack, and it's got 15 tools in it. But the one time you need that tool that's in the back of your truck, you've got it with you. So I got another good thing here. It's the Magnatech mat. This thing, I don't think you have one, Chris, do you?
I do not. I do not have one of those.
Vince came out with this thing. It's got magnets in it. It sticks on the car. I actually used it the other week. I was doing a Jeep Wrangler cowl with the dent, the typical cowl dent, and I put this in between the roof and the hood, so it kind of protected the panel. A lot of times you put a towel up there. This worked really well. Back to my roof stories. I do a lot of roofs, so I use this thing probably 2 or 3 times a week. But it's an awesome. I use it all the time. It was definitely a good purchase. That's at magnatechmat.com. Dave, you've got that Magnatech mat, right?
I do. I do, and it doesn't get as used as often as I thought I would use it. Um, but I was actually watching one of Hudson's videos, and he was using it
On the
to
quarter.
on the quarter, and I'm like, wow, that's actually a really, really good idea. So I think I need to incorporate it a little bit more. But I do have the map. I don't use it as often as I should, like I said.
It is. I'll tell you, he's got these little tip holders. You're supposed to put the
Ah.
magnets in there. I don't have the magnets in there because I'm not really changing that many tips. So most of the time, this is great for glue pulling a rail because you put this on the roof. You can just throw your tabs up here. If you have the magnetic tabs, it'll stick to the mat. My glue gun, I put my little slide hammer up here. It doesn't roll. You know, you're always kind of rolling around unless you have a cart sitting right next to you. But this works really well for glue pulling. It's a great tool. I mean, it's got a lot of uses in our business. So check them out. Vince has got a great product. I have nothing bad. I think I bought it on the pre-release, so I don't even know what it costs now. I don't know what the price is. That's all I got.
That's it.
That's it. That's it.
All right,
let's bought anything new.
Oh, you haven't? Well, I'm gonna go ahead and get this flameless propane torch. I think I'm gonna order that.
It's on Amazon for like $89 or something, right? It's like propane heat gun or something they're calling it.
Okay. Flameless heat gun. Yeah.
I did get that wedge in the mail from Benny.
Yeah.
And what's it called? I forget what it's called. Talon or something.
Oh, Talon.
And who was it? Stucky?
Yes.
Yes. I used it this week.
It's an awesome wedge.
That's it. That's the one I'm using. That's the one I'm using. Thank you, Benny. I appreciate that too.
I used that today like 3 times. So.
It was a great wedge. I'll tell you, I've been using that wide Dentcraft blue wedge that they have. Nothing like that Stucky wedge, man.
Yeah.
It really isn't. I mean, it's the most simple tool out there, and one of the cheaper tools you can buy. But man, it just works.
Yeah, it just works.
Yeah. All right, so let's get to today's topic, which is mobile or a retail shop. So this is going to be pertaining to guys that do primarily retail work, and what do they think? And I know the weather in different areas may be different, but I think we can speak some experience with Dave being 100% mobile. Ryan, you're about what, 50% all mobile?
Yeah, about 50-50.
50-50, and I'm probably 70-30. So I figure we could get through these some nice, positives and negatives and dislikes and likes. So if anybody have any questions, go ahead and put it in the chat about mobile or having a shop. So let's just start off with some of the things that you like from mobile, and how does that work well with your clientele base, and where do you think some of the benefits are compared to someone that has to sit at a shop? I guess Dave, you could probably start it off.
Yeah, so I'm completely mobile, 100%. No brick and mortar, no shops that I, shuffle or shuttle cars to or anything like that. All work is done at customers' home or work. And my customers love it. They love the convenience factor. They kind of get confused sometimes. They're said, where's your shop located? Because they automatically assume that we have a shop and don't understand that the entire business is based around being completely mobile. I try to tell people we're like SafeLight. We're able to come to you everywhere. SafeLight's able to change the glass out in your vehicle, either at your home or work, and they pride themselves on that. We do the same. One of the biggest challenges is either drive time or weather. Those are typically the two biggest factors that kind of can get in the way, or the two biggest obstacles or challenges that you're dealing with every day being mobile. trying to arrange your schedule in a timely manner to where you're getting every place, you're hitting every place in a fast amount of time, or the weather just slowing you down. Today it's April 9th and it's snowing outside.
Mm.
So, and it's just what we have to deal with. And sometimes we did a couple reschedules today, just because of the weather this morning, and it happens. But we don't. The overhead is so low, which is nice. We're not having to deal with any light bills and gas bills and whatever else overhead comes along with having a shop.
So I know you reference Safelite. From my experience, Safelite is uh, on the upper level of the price point because they offer that service and they do it so well with the scheduling and all that stuff. So what I'm thinking is that if you do offer this mobile service, are you more expensive than being at a shop, or would you lower your prices if you do have a shop, or would you raise your prices for a shop? I mean, and
I think
also
the
the
prices would
customer
get raised
perception.
even more.
You're coming to them, you're offering that service, you're valuing their time. I feel like better than me than I am, and maybe Ryan is with them coming to our shop. We're giving them their time back. So that to me comes with a cost because we're eating up that time. And just like Safelight, it is very expensive to get stuff done from Safelight compared to a competitor. Um, but they'll probably be the first one at your door ready to put you in.
And then we try to do the
So does
same.
that convenience kind of?
It doesn't. I mean, it was never really it was never really a huge key of my prices are going to be higher because of this. Um,
Mhm.
but when you put it like that, it does. I know we're on the more expensive end anyway. But even if I had a shop, I think we would still do the same. The prices would still be just as high, if not higher,
Well,
due to having a shop.
right now it seems like you justify your pricing based on your quality of work, which is
Correct.
obviously fair. Um, but again, you're giving back that customer time, and
Yeah.
it's costing you an extra hour to fight through snow. Because I've seen some of your you called me during the day. Hey, I'm driving in 6 feet of snow, and that liability of something happened. I'm just looking at some of the chat, and one guy says, yeah, they'll take your car and steal everything in it. So you have just more liability. It seems like with the mobile service. Want to advertise that we give you back your time? Is that an advertising? Uh,
And nothing that we really deploy out there. Um, but it's just there. It doesn't affect the price directly, but I can see what you're saying. I know. I mean, I know what you're
yeah,
saying. But we don't advertise it that way. But we're
yeah.
able to say, oh, you can do this, and the customer, oh, you can come to work, come to our work. I said, yeah, we can. Well, do you charge more for being mobile? No, it's part of our service. That is our service. Our service is a completely mobile repair service.
What do you think you have a competitive advantage over maybe someone that does have a retail shop in your area?
I believe so. Instead of trying to shuttle customers in a certain area or a certain radius to your shop, where now they have to take time. It's only on their lunch break. They have to drop the car off in the morning, or they have to do it after work. They only have Saturdays available. I feel like that's because I know how. If I want to go get an oil change, you know what I mean. I'm not going to take time. I don't want to take time out of my week and take the time away from work to go ahead and go get an oil change.
Right.
I'm going to try to do it on my day off, which can probably be Saturday or Sunday. So if they're able to sit at their desk and still do what they need to do at work and have us come out, I mean, it's a huge competitive advantage being completely mobile.
Yeah, I'm just asking.
No, no.
uh, just in case anybody's wondering and just haven't commented or anything. Ryan, what is your take on that? I know you do
it's got its
50-50.
it's got its advantages and disadvantages. Sometimes the retail going to the customer's house doing the repairs, I truly enjoy. Weather is definitely a factor, like Dave says. I mean, it, it cold weather, rain, snow, and the customer's still like, well, you can't come in the snow. You want to, you're almost like, do you want to sit on your couch and watch some guy in the snow fix your car? Because I don't.
Yeah, I feel bad.
It's like the guy that cuts your grass, a landscaper that comes to your house. He's not going to come in the snow.
Yeah.
So I think
barely comes in the rain.
I think there's definitely some advantage of mobile. In my instance, it's kind of, as long as it's convenient, convenient for me also.
Right.
If it's in my area, as long as I'm not driving an hour and 15 minutes away to go fix a car that, it may be smashed. You don't know. I try to plan my Saturdays. My Saturdays are more of a retail facility, but that's the big smashes. I don't do any big smashes on mobile. So I kind of have that advantage to where I'm bringing it to my shop on the weekend to do the bad stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But on mobile, it's got its advantages. It's I think a lot of it's weather driven.
So we get all 4 seasons, Ryan and Dave. I think you get more winter, fall and spring more so than summer, right? How long is your summer, Dave? Pretty long.
Typically 90 days.
90 days. So ours is a little
That's
bit
our summer, June, July, August.
But it seems like we all get like a decent amount of the season. So it just seems like to me for maybe 120 days, you're kind of up in the air with weather. And then I just saw a post of a gentleman. I can't remember which dent company posted, and he said he normally parks the vehicle on the side in front of the customer's house, but the customer moved the vehicle. I'm sorry. Oh, the customer moved the vehicle basically on the curb, and then he parked in the their little driveway, and worked inside their garage. And some lady just plowed in the back of their SUV. And I was like, this is the reason. I remember that day when I was working on the side of the road, and I felt like I needed a reflecting vest. And the lady didn't care. She was like, you can work on it here. And I'm just like, when my tools are 2 blocks away, I'm going to try to make this happen. And I kind of drew the line that day, and I was like, the liability is not there for me. Yep. I do too many cars in the city, or, outskirts of DC is still really, DC. So I just kind of stopped it there. But
that's my stuff in Baltimore. A lot of people, I'll Google map it while I'm talking to them and
see where they're
and see if it's a city street. It's just, I'm not doing it. That's as easy as it is. It's just not going to happen.
Yeah. So I mean, with your experience, and I know you run around a lot, and you maybe built the company to do that, but going forward, what do you think is more convenient for you? Maybe more convenient for your customers, Ryan? Because I know you have 50-50, and I don't know if you're willing to move over to
I still think it's 50-50. You know what I mean? I have a lot of customers that say, I'll just bring it to you.
Right.
So I think it's all in how you gauge your customer, your business. Dave's built his business on being 100% mobile. I've been 50-50.
Right.
So, the other opportunity that I have that I'm very lucky is I have a lot of body shops that I service. And I can have them meet me at the body shop to where I can have inside space, or, hey, I need this headliner drop. They'll drop the headliner, whatever I need. So I've got that advantage also. So,
right.
But I think there's definitely a market for just a retail facility. I just think you have to make sure it's location.
Yeah,
it's all location based. Yeah. It really is. If it's not a great location, you're going to get work. I mean, you're going to get work off the internet, but I think it's location based.
Yeah, I agree.
For me, the convenience factor is huge. But what scared me is overhead. That's what, that's what scares me. Not being able to have enough work to go ahead and cover all of that and then make the profit as well. Mm-hmm. And I think that people can get tied up really, really fast, and things can go south really, really quick if their marketing plan and their marketing strategies aren't in line with that actual area and bringing those customers to the shop. Mm-hmm. You have money going out and there's not enough coming in, and things can get, pretty scary pretty quick.
Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and that's keeping it mobile limits a lot of that.
Yep. Well, I like I said, I'm leaning towards 100% retail. At least for my body, me myself, 100% retail. I mean, 100% retail shop. So it does not mean going to any body shop. They'll just have to come to me, or I'll maybe step away a little bit. But I think it has its advantages. Me personally, it allows me to train, allows me to get some CEO stuff done, and not being in the car, because we all know being in the car, you can't do anything other than talk on the phone. So, and you're not even allowed to do that, or whatever the case may be. So,
I'm eating, texting, and talking at the same
exactly. So, you feel like you're getting rushed every second of the day, and I think you lose sight of what you really are in this business for. Is what I'm in this for is really to fix dents. I love it. I still love it to this day. But as an owner, I need to deal with certain things, so I just have to be at a shop. Also, what I noticed is that when I started doing the 50/50 mobile, half the customers will come in and then just grab a card. I wouldn't be there, and I would lose customers. I'm a big advocate about, if the customer is ready to get the repair done, you do that. I hate standing in line to give you money. I think that's the stupidest thing ever. And Amazon figured that one out. But when I go anywhere, why am I waiting to hand you money? You should just take it as fast as you can. So when a customer comes in, I always ask them, do you want to get it done today? And then I kind of fill them out, almost like the question that they ask you at every single dealership. Are you ready to buy today? Or if we find one for you, are you willing to buy it today? So I kind of ask the customer. Most customers are saying, yeah, I would love to, because I don't want to come here a second or third time.
I'm here, just
So
do it.
what do you say?
I'm here, just do it.
Yeah,
You know what I
I'm
mean?
here,
That's what
just
I
do
do.
it. And so I don't know. I've had a customer today. He came from DC a week ago, because I stepped out that 70-30 split. So the 30%, he just happened to come in when I wasn't there. And he was like, man, I drove all the way here from DC. I felt bad. He came today. He didn't want to wait for the job to get done. It's like he would have known that the first time he arrived. Or I might have been able to run a car, persuade him to leave the car with me, or whatever the case may be. He was already irritated the second trip out. So it was unfortunate, but that's why I say 100%. You can only do one thing. I talk to a lot of detailers, and it's very hard for them to do maybe some paint correction inside the shop, and then run around and go do, car washes and wash and wax in mobile. It's almost impossible.
It's just like us. I get a lot of questions. I had a customer. I actually have the hail car at my shop now. The State Farm said you were mobile. You'll come to me. I won't do a hail car outside at a customer's house. I just won't do it. And they're like, I don't understand why. And I said, I have to drop your headliner if I break a clip, if I lose a screw. I'm stuck in your driveway.
Yeah.
The other thing is seeing all the damage. So
that's the biggest thing. Seeing all that damage.
We do have a question from Peter. It says, hey guys, I'm a newbie, and I was wondering, how do you deal with the extreme weather when you don't have a shop, and can you charge extra for that? I don't. It's just kind of built into the price.
Yeah. I mean, you're still charging extra, but it's not.
It's built into the price. I don't really look. Yeah, it's not an actual fee that's on the estimate or anything like that. And then also, I'm layering up. I'm wearing coveralls. I got a heat gun. I got the torch. I mean, they're all there. If it's severe damage, I will try to shuttle them to one of my body shops that I work with. I do that every so often. So, I am completely mobile, but there's going to be those instances where I would love to get this done. The customer wants to get it done, but I'm not comfortable with working on something for 6 hours when it's 30 degrees outside.
Exactly.
I'll try to get them to a shop to where we can still get it done. So I mean, but you know,
Or
every
just the
day.
question?
What?
I'm sorry. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
I would say, but just normal everyday day to day operation is just layering up, heating up that panel with heat gun or torch, and working. Just working through it.
I use a lot of hand warmers.
Yep.
You know, the
Yeah.
hot hand packages. If
Oh
it's
yeah.
freezing cold, I'll in the first thing as soon as I get in the truck, open it up, let them get hot. By the time I get to a stop that I'm outside working, I put them in my pockets. I'm good to go. So
So much work. It's like, wow. Yeah.
I know, and you're just comfy in your shop. You're warm. The music's on. He's
Oh
wearing
man.
he's wearing a t-shirt, and we're out here freezing and
I'm not. Come on now. Come on now. I was mobile today. The
pumping
entire.
out videos all day long, and we're just out here freezing and trying to work, make a dollar.
No, I mean, I used to do it, man, and thing is cold. That it. I can't work when my toes are cold, so I would take those hand warmers and stuff them in my shoe. I'm good with the hands. I mean, I could just warm up as much as I possibly can. But I can't deal with the hammer. I'm sorry, one of the guys sent me a text. Um, so Dave, do you have a generator, or how do you screen your customers? Do you ask them a certain amount of what questions do you ask them to know if they have a plug or if you're going to be working in a garage or anything? What are some of the things that you're looking for?
I think we lost Dave.
Yeah, I think
I
so.
do screen it. I ask them, do you have a heated garage? Is always my first question. Most of the time they're like, no, but I have a garage, or they'll say, yeah, I have a garage, but you can't get into it. Um, Mainly ask if they have an outlet. If you need a heat gun or a polisher or whatever you need to use. A lot of times we'll use, screen that phone call just to see what the situation is. Do you most of the time if they say yeah they have a garage, most of the time you can't get in them.
Yeah, yeah,
So, Dave, what do you do? Do you screen the calls for when you go to retail to find out if they have
yeah.
a
What question do
garage,
you
if they have
ask?
Sorry, I'm having like bad connection issues right now. What was the question?
what questions do you ask the customer when they call about mobile? Do they have a garage? Do they have electric? What are your usual questions that you ask? Almost like screening the call.
Um, if it's, I mean, during the winter, I do ask for a garage. Just on a normal day to day. If it's just a regular day in Chicago, I'm not asking for anything. I just need the vehicle. That's what I tell them. We don't need anything. We just need the vehicle.
I
Wintertime. I'm definitely screening for uh, parking garage if you're at work. Garage, attached garage. If you're at home, that would be best. If they say no, I have a garage. I said, all right, cool. I'm gonna assume that there's gonna be electric in there. So, not too much screening.
Sounds good. Any other
I get it.
questions? Oh, go
I
ahead.
get a lot of times the customer's like, "Oh, the car's in the driveway. I'm at work. Just let me know when you're done, and I'll pay over the phone." Well, I need the keys. Well, that's not going to work. I don't know. I don't know what to tell you. You know what I mean? You're like a lot of them. A lot of customers, you almost have to explain. We need the keys to roll the window down or access the panel, and so that makes it difficult too. I get a lot of customers that are like, "It's out front of my house. Just go ahead and take care of it and bill me." And I'm like, I need the keys.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, and if they're not comfortable with leaving the keys, because some people aren't, and I completely understand with a mobile service. Here's the keys to my car.
Yeah.
Um, and I hope I'll be back in an hour and my car is still there. I completely understand that. So I'll just kind of gauge, whatever I know I need to get done. If I need to roll down two windows, get those windows rolled down, get, the trunk, whatever I need to actually go do. And then here's the keys back. That's all I needed. You can keep your keys. That's fine.
we got a couple questions in there, Chris. You see where we are?
I'm up here with
It looks like Rick's gonna buy a Stanley Liner raised snake tool, so he's gonna let us know how that works out. Rick's actually
Yeah.
from Maryland, so I'm sure he'll fill me in. I know we were talking about that snake tool like 2 weeks ago, so definitely, Rick, let us know what you think. I'm too cheap to buy it and just try it out, so I'll let you try it. So, um,
There's no way you can rent in part of retirement. So C. Miller said owning a space would work well. You could rent in part of your retirement. So yeah, I don't think you'll ever. At least where I'm at, owning is you're talking $2 million building. We're not a body shop or anything that high volume like that. So
so Chris Teagues asks, Chris, do you feel like you can make more money in a shop versus mobile?
yes, there's a old. Not old saying, but I used to say it all the time. I only make money with tools in my hand. So the more I have my tools in my hand, the more money I can make. I don't even care if I give a 50% discount, and that's 50%, not $50. I can still make more money than do a mobile. Um, I'm just fast with the tools in my hand, so I think we all are actually. So
Oh yeah.
you line up 20 cars, we're still going home by 2 o'clock. So,
I don't know. I smoked the tires off that truck, so I can't say that. I mean, Dave's
I
followed me
mean,
through
true,
Baltimore before, so
true,
you know.
true, true.
Yeah, we're pulling some Fast and the Furious moves.
And
Going
if
through
you
Baltimore.
hang with some Hale guys, they're the same way. I mean, they don't have tools in their hands. They're like, hey, this ain't working. I got to go. So we'll write estimates. We'll do everything that, but they want to push. Same
Yeah.
way with me. I want to push. So
And Nick's asking, how many mobile retails do you schedule in a day, depending on damage, of course.
I average around 4 to 5.
I'm, I guess, probably 3 to 4, and I'll throw in my body shop stuff in between. It really
Yeah.
depends on the day and the damage.
Yeah, it's going to be
Yeah.
dependent on damage for sure. I
But
think
average.
tomorrow. I think tomorrow I have. Yeah, I think tomorrow I have like 5 or 6 lined up. So
Yeah.
average can be anywhere between like 4 to 8, and it's all going to be depending on damage.
Yeah.
You
Yeah. And
know,
then
and
I
So
got
I've
the
got a
body shop.
if a shop, yeah, if a shop calls,
Yeah.
hey, I got one real quick, and now you're zipping over there to go take care of an emergency. I actually had to reschedule some things this last weekend because I had 5 people call me on Thursday between 4:30 and 5:30. Hey, I have one tomorrow. Hey, I have one tomorrow. Can you be here tomorrow? I have an emergency, and so um, Friday. I was pumping out work, and and then ended up being about 7 to 8 calls on Friday.
Yep.
So I got an email question in this week, and what it's asking is, if you have a new account call you about a car, you go and you look at this car, and it's bad. It's bad all the way around. It's got 3 or 4 smash panels. The person that called you is trying to get you in that account, and you look at the damage and you're like, I can fix it, but this car is probably going to take an experienced tech all day. That's how bad this car is. How do you handle that so you don't price yourself out of the market?
Do you want the account or not? That's
It's
the
a good
question.
question.
I mean, that's
So
the
if
only
you if
question.
if
Do
if
you
you
want
want if you want the account,
or not?
but you already have a prior relationships with somebody at the account, how do you handle that? If you want it, spend all day on the car for no
If
money.
I want the account, I'll spend all day on it.
If I want it, yeah.
If I want it, I'm getting
If I
it.
want it, I'll get it,
I mean, that's
and
just
I'm going to
it.
show them why.
Yep, I'm gonna show them
That's what
why.
I thought.
Exactly, Dave.
That's
But
what
I
I
mean,
thought. But what do you price it at? Do you price it fair? Do you price it cheap?
see, I go in there and I say, "What do you got
What
in it? What can you spare?" Because it doesn't really matter what they kind of only want to spend what they have what they have in the car and not push the car out of the market so they can sell it.
Yeah.
So I kind of go in there. You're gonna lose anyway, so I just put the ball in their court. What do you want to spend?
Yeah.
He said, spending $100.
Now,
I can't do it for 100. And that's
yeah,
how
if
the
he
negotiation.
comes at, say he comes at $300 and you're like, this is gonna take me all day for 300.
Hey,
If you want it,
if you want it, I'll eat that because I'm gonna make it back in a month. So
if
if
you
it's
want
that
it,
kind of an account, I mean,
It's a good question.
Yeah,
Yeah.
great question for sure. But I was talking to I won't say his name, but I was talking to another PDR tech, and he just recently opened up his shop, and it was the same thing. He was on a car, and he wasn't making as much money on this car. And he's like, I'm just losing my mind on this car. I'm losing time, this, that, and the third, and I think the guy had other hell cars that he needed to work on. And I was like, look, man, he's got more on the pipeline. If you really want it, you gotta get it. I mean, there's plenty of times people go and do work, businesses go and they go, man, I got to do this for free, or their guy messes up. My neighbor was getting some crown work on the chimney done, and they used the hose, I guess, to set the concrete, to stir the concrete, and the hose they just left it on, and it actually something happened, and it actually went through the chimney and down her whole floor, her basement. So they're over there, oh, I'm sorry, yada yada, heavily discounted the price because they didn't want to refinish this lady's whole basement. And she was cool, no problem, as long as there's no mold, they'll check it. Guy came in, did a little Stanley steamer, cleaned everything up. Most people be like, I want a whole new basement. So he probably lost. He probably made no money on that job for a simple hose. And this is what you are, what you have. You're in business, you take sacrifice. I mean, you act like you don't. We don't have a union here. So I think you have to sacrifice if you want it. That's just my take. What do your take, Ryan? What do you think? What would you do?
It really depends on the damage. You know what I mean? I mean, if it's questionable damage from the get, and you're an experienced tech,
you said it's fixable now.
You know what I mean? I almost sometimes I've been in that situation, and I almost feel like you're being set up for failure right off the bat.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because the damage is so severe.
Yeah.
That more than likely they have a dent company already, and that dent company said that needs to go to the body shop.
Yeah.
Right.
And
that's one only good thing with that is when you get it out there, it's a used car or whatever it is, and you get it 75%, it's a used car.
You've also just showed them. You've also just showed them your skill and what they can go buy at auction,
which is not a good thing.
Right. What they can. No, we've got this guy Ryan now. He can fix these nasty cars.
Over here.
But I think that's all part of the negotiation. That's all part of the letting them know, like, hey, I will fix this, and I want this account, and I will be your dent company. But this is, based off the fact that this is this one car. This will be charged as X amount for next time. And then, give me all your used cars. And we're going to do it for this, blah, blah, blah. And it's all part of that whole deal.
Yeah.
Yeah. I recently I had a dealership call me and say, hey, we got a hail car. And I went there and I saw the marks from another PDR company marking all up. And so I started doing my little research and see kind of how much they bidded the car for. And I went in there and said, look, I don't care what it is, but I get these two dealerships. Well, let me talk to the GM and the owner. I said, talk to you, who you want. Just let me know. We'll have a team of guys coming there. We'll get it done in 2 days. It was like high strength. And no, I called him. He, the salesman kept calling me saying, hey, come do the car. He's not going to make that final decision. So I'm talking to the manager. The manager is a nice guy. He said, let me find out from the GM if he doesn't have any other relationships with any other company. But it sounds like, you guys are cheaper. You guys ready to knock this out. Okay, I already knew what the car was bidded for. They wanted some ridiculously low price, but I wanted all the dealerships, set up a schedule, and let's get started. And I was going to do it on a scheduled date. So I was going to pull those cars that they wanted me to repair on a weekly basis and pull the hell car and have the team come in there and just take care of everything. But I called him 3 times. He's kept updating me. Oh no, the guy has he's friends with this dent company. I said, okay, well, that's fine. Let me know if you're willing to switch. We'll see you later. So I don't do the stuff like that for free.
I just had another like an actual interesting conversation. I have a Nissan account that I service that they have an in-house dent guy. He's kind of a self-taught dent guy. anything on a body line, anything big, he really doesn't touch. So they kind of brought me in to do some of the bigger stuff. So obviously the pricing is adjusted. It isn't like a standard
Right.
used car lot. So every week I go in there, I walk the lot. If there's something small, I price it. And the manager was fired. So last week I go in there for the first time with this new manager, and you walk up and you can just tell the persona of this manager. You're already like, yep,
Hey,
you're that guy.
he's
You're
on a
that
high
guy.
horse.
So he's like, did you find any cars? I said, yeah, so let's go walk. So we walk out there. He's in a full 3-piece suit, hair slicked
Oh,
back. I mean,
jeez.
Rolex
he
on the
was a
wrist.
Jeez.
whole get up.
Oh
And,
man.
we're trying to figure each other out. He's asking where I live. And, we're trying to get some personal information. And we walk, and he's like, how much for that one? And it was like a dent in the door. And I was like, it's 75. He goes, how about 65? Then we look at another one. How about 55? And I look at him and I said, this isn't let's make a deal. It really isn't. It's just not let's make a deal. And that's just because of I'm not just the regular dent guy in there fixing dents. You know what I mean? I'm not in there. I'm not a door dinger.
And
I'm
you're
in there
not getting the
fixing your
cherry
stuff.
work. So
Exactly. So, and he was like, after like the third or fourth car, he was like, all right, just go ahead and fix them. Now, this week, if I go in there, I may not have the account, but, and the good part about that is I'm in a situation where I'm okay. But,
Yeah.
Sometimes you have to stand your ground.
Yeah.
The new manager, he's feeling you out, and you almost have to just sit back and say, look, dude, this is what it is. So, don't be scared to stand up for yourself sometimes. In our business, a lot of times, I think a lot of guys feel like they have to do it. He's telling me his other dent guy will do it for $50, and you're like, all right, let me just do it for $50. You know what I mean?
Okay.
So I think that's
Call
a lot of the issues that are out there with dent guys is they're so scared of losing the business, but sometimes you just have to stand your ground.
I agree. I agree.
Yeah.
I had one today. Guy called on it. It was a truck bedside, smashed F-150. The lower edge in the picture, you could tell the lower edge was kind of blown out where it blows that lower lip. So he's talking to me about the repair, and I said, I really need to see the car. The pictures aren't giving it justice. I said, that lower lip is blown out. And he's like, no, it's not. It's the customer's always telling you what they want you to hear. A lot of times with bad damage.
Oh, they've been pushing for years.
And he finally gave in and said he went to Stephen Green over at the Paintless Dent Doctor and got a quote from him. And we were talking the conversation. He kept bringing it up, and I kept telling him I needed to see it. And I said, just go to Stephen Green.
Yeah.
It comes to a point where you just back down. You can fix it.
Yeah.
But at that point, he's already sold. He just wants another price from another company. How do you deal with companies' price and stuff? Price checking is what I call it.
For me, it's fine. Price check it. It's fine with me. We offer a different type of level of experience, a customer experience. So if you want to wait for maybe them and deal with that, you come to me, you're eating, we have chips, we have coffee, we have water, we have all the bells and whistles. We have your nice TV, we got Wi-Fi, all that stuff. The price is my prices. You know what the repair is going to look like at the end. And that's it. We have easy scheduling. We just try to make it as easy as we possibly can for the customer. And that comes with, not necessarily a price. We don't charge any more for it or anything like that. But I will remember us based on how we treated you. So if they don't feel that and they feel like a price is better for that, then I don't know. I just don't feel like you value what we're trying to bring to the table. To a certain degree, I guess, Sometimes I play the price game, man. Like I had a lady that said, man, it's my rental car, this, that, and the third. So I was like, all right, it's a nasty day. And all I did was just put her before a little bit of the other people and just work through the night for her car so she can deliver it the next morning. I mean, if that doesn't, help you out, I don't know what does. Yeah. So
I think it's all about the experience you're giving to the customer.
Yeah, man. I mean, we try to inform them.
You're never going to make happy. Doesn't matter if you jump through the hoops. You're just not going to.
I mean, I had a customer. I did an estimate, and I mean, this thing. If you've seen on my Instagram, it was like that Hyundai that I did. The whole quarter panel just crushed from the door to the the bumper. And he comes. It was another one. He comes and he says, I said, I think around 12 something. Just gauging from the other one, and he was like, "Wow, I got a paint quote for like $530," and I'm like, I don't even know how they're painting this for $530. And I said, sir, if it's a good repair and you feel confident that they're willing to give you some good work, I would take it. And I'm not just saying that because I said I'm trying to give you. I said my job is to give you the most information so you can make the proper decision. If you don't value paintless dent repair, you're never going to spend double that with me because you're not valuing it. So you're just I say, but you're not my customer because you don't value the same things that I value or other people do. I wouldn't want to put paint on that car. That car, from what I saw from that one side, didn't look like it was painted at all. And he was like, nope, they're going to paint it. And I'm like, how are they going to take the quarter panel glass, the bumper off,
They're
blend
not
into the door? I was like, blend into the bumper. I was like, there's no way, but I didn't want to discredit a body shop or whatever the case may be. I was like, all right, cool. And get body labor hours? I was like, I don't think so, but it's cool. But he said, hey, it's got 90,000 miles on it. I really don't care. I'm just going to go with my cheaper option. Cool. Obviously, that's not my customer. So
exactly.
But Jonathan had a question about training, and yes, we do offer training. The price has not been set yet, but the website hopefully will be out in a week.
I would say it's probably going to be longer than a week.
Come on, we're almost done.
It's probably going to be. I would say 2 weeks. Let's be a realist here. Probably 2 weeks.
2 weeks. Okay. All right. 2 weeks. Jonathan, it's coming. We're going to offer a unique training way that we feel as though is different, and we feel is definitely I won't say more valuable, but there's a reasoning why we have this different style. So just by talking with different dent guys and stuff like that.
Do any of you use front fender supports?
Nope.
I don't.
Front fender supports?
A moose knuckle or a block of wood.
I do use a 2x4 every now and then.
2x4. Yeah.
Since the dent dial, I haven't used it. It's got that little foot on there. It just rocks, man. It rocks.
Do you charge a customer up front or do you charge after the work is complete?
After the work.
Always after.
Always after. And then have you ever had a customer not wanting to pay after the work is complete? I haven't come into that.
I have had a customer with money issues.
Yeah, I remember you telling me that, I've never had a customer not pay. I always just do it after.
And to be honest with you, if you have a customer and they're not happy with the repair, just because that's the type of person they are, and it's a quality repair, I'll eat it. You know what I mean?
I do.
I'll eat it.
Yeah, I had one long time ago. He sent me one picture of his dent, and I think I charged him $200 or something like that. And he goes to the other side of the vehicle. It was a Jeep Cherokee. I remember it. And same exact dent, probably a little worse. And he's like, "What about this one?" And I said, "Well, it's going to be the same price. I got to take the door apart, kind of the same thing." And I said, "But what I can do, he had a small dent in the same door on the other side." I said, "I can take that one out, no charge, just to help out." He said, "All right, fine, no problem. Let's do it. I was only trying to pay $200, but I'll do it." Finished the repair, fine. You pay, and called the bank. Was like, "Oh, he was not authorized to work on my vehicle." It's like, how did I have your key?
Always have him sign.
Yeah, always. So I was like, but it didn't even matter. The bank, he was like a HUD. It was like a HUD bank, Federal Credit Union, and their policy was like, take it to court. There's nothing you can give us that we will give you the money. You have to take him to court. And I had pictures, documents. We were sending him emails. He was like, "Oh, thank you, blah, blah, blah." I actually didn't even take him to court. I thought it would be kind of waste my time of the day. So his comments, I Googled his name and stuff, and I was like, "Oh, he's renting his rooms in his house and stuff." So I figure he's worse off than me. So No big deal. But that was only one time, and the company as a whole stopped accepting checks, unfortunately, for that reason right there. So we just do cash and credit right now.
I feel it out. I get a lot of older customers, so I kind of feel them
What do you?
out. If I'm comfortable, I'll take the check.
Let me ask you. I have a little pet peeve with this question, but do you charge more money
No,
if they use credit card?
no.
No.
And this was my thought on that whole thing. It's a convenience. We're back to the convenience setting. I don't carry much cash.
I
I
agree.
use my card all the time. If you go to 7-Eleven, they're not charging you the fee. If you go to the car wash, they're not charging you the fee.
Yep.
Some guys do, and I completely understand it, but I just look at it as a convenience. And at the end of the year, you're writing it off anyway.
Yeah.
It balances itself out. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I have to give a little.
I completely don't understand why people charge fees. I do, if a customer is coming in trying to pay a $6,000 hell card, you can
I'll
write,
do 900. 900 is my limit.
900. Okay. So, I mean, yeah, I go, all right, cool. It is what it is. But I try to say, hey, if they don't, they don't, But very rarely do I spend money with anyone that says, hey, you need a credit card fee. I had someone come in and do some work. He was like, credit card fee. I was like, you still do that? Come on, man.
It's 2.3%.
Yeah.
Come on.
And he tried to charge me 5%. I was like, really? Come on. Oh, my guy.
So we do have to give a little shout out here on the page. We have Mr. Bryce Kelly on
here. Yeah.
Checking in. If you guys don't know who he is an absolute beast.
Yeah.
Some of the stuff he's fixing, not a chance. For me, no way, So check out his Instagram and his Facebook.
His channel, his YouTube channel.
Dude is unbelievable.
Yeah,
unbelievable
humble guy.
So
very, very, very good tech for sure. Any other questions we're going through?
Chris, you got one on there. Rob STI.
Oh, Chris, how do you pay your techs? You are training to work for you. Got an opportunity to do more training and make money at the same time. What's a fair cut? That's a hard one because I know hail and door dinging, whether you're using your own car, your transportation, whether you're buying your own tools, to continue training. What do the customer base? If he's bringing you more customers, you don't have to do anything. I don't know. Rob, if you want to kind of elaborate more on that question, or send me a private message, more information of what that deal is. I believe, if you look at the Den Wizard deal, I mean, everybody kind of knows their percentages. I think is it safe to say their percentages?
I don't even know what they are anymore.
Yeah, I don't know what they are, but I would say for Dent Wizard, there's a lot of techs out there that make good money with their percentages. So, and I believe they do have a low percentage, but they just feed you a lot of work. So I think they pay for Dave. You probably would know, but do they pay for your tools? Do they give you anything towards that or anything?
I don't remember.
Okay. So anyway, but yeah, so if you can elaborate more on that, Nick, he said 51% is the cap.
Yeah.
And I'm pretty sure that's a 10-year plus tech, if not longer, for that cap. Because I think, what did they start at, Nick? If you can share that information. Let's see. Have any of you guys put any thoughts in doing pre and post scan on vehicles? You do much RNI. So I scan each vehicle. Is that what he's talking about, Carter?
Yeah.
Yeah, I scan each vehicle, and my labor rate for the shop for RNIs is $85. So we use Mobile Tech RX, and it gives us a good idea how long it's gonna take to RNI what we need to RNI, and it's just an $85 an hour RNI fee.
Nick says it's 30%.
You said what? 30%?
Nick says it started 30%.
before shop fees and adjustments. So I'll explain that. But straight lines, I did not post a video of that deep dent. I didn't even record a video that I normally would put on YouTube for that deep dent that I did. Mainly because I was actually what happened with that situation is there was a bunch of golf balls thrown on this parking lot of this. It's actually a body shop's parking lot, and they needed to get cars out fast. They kind of said, "Hey, while you're here, can you work on these two nasty dents?" And I just didn't have time to record. But I did shoot a lot of pictures, a lot of quick films. And during our class that we're going to have, we're going to talk about how I repaired that. And I was just kind of talking during this video so that I can make sure I remember the process. Because sometimes I forget, and sometimes how that dent was actually coming up, I changed the way I was actually doing it. So for that repair, I was taking pictures, and it's going to be in my PowerPoint presentation during our classes. So sorry about that. So when Nick is talking about the 30%, Ryan, do you want to talk about it, or do you know what he's talking about? No.
What, 30%? So they're making 30% of whatever they bill.
It'd be shop fees and adjustments. So if the shop is, a lot of times the shops will give a percentage, and so that's before that percentage. So you still will get a little bit of money taken out based on the shop's percentage and adjustments. So it may go down to like 22%, 20%.
I know the Wiz at CarMax is their pricing scale there is I don't even, it's crazy low, but you have to look at the volume that they're getting at that account too. That's something you have to come in. I don't know the exact percentages.
Teardrops.
Dave Johnson's usually on here, and he would have all those percentages, but I don't.
Yeah, and I don't know if they want to, they share that information or anything like that. That's just what's been going around. But I just wanted to answer your question, Rob. So he's talking about, do you scan clear the like codes? I've really had any code, any R&I done so far, knock on wood. No. So, and I will probably cross that bridge when it comes. I do have a scan, like a scan man or something like that I have his phone number. So if that happens, hopefully the customer can still drive. They'll just have a check engine light on.
The good thing with me is a good friend of mine used to own one of those big companies that used to go around and scan. So I've kind of got the little loophole there, but yeah, I've never really had an issue. Pulling a taillight. I just had a new F-150 that I had to fix a bedside, and I took the taillight out, and it had one of those blind side detector sensors in it. I just left the taillight plugged in. I didn't even unplug it. I just let it hang there.
Yeah.
That's the stuff you have to watch out for, is just kind of, I always say, be aware of your surroundings. You know, as in, do you need to unplug this? No. Can you work around it? Yeah, it's just not worth the headache if it needs to be programmed or any of that stuff. So.
Yeah. Yep. Thanks, Chris. So we're about to wrap it up. So guys, I know a lot of times when we say we're about to wrap it up, then the question starts flooding in. So go ahead and on this last 5 or 10 minutes, if you guys have any other questions, the topic of the day was mobile versus a retail shop. So if you guys have any questions on that or anything like that.
Hit that thumbs up, guys. It really helps us out. Give us some love.
If you're listening, please thumbs up. Please, that helps us out. I don't know, maybe the thumbs down guy accidentally hit that, but give us the thumbs up. Don't hit the thumbs down. Any questions, guys, please feel free to ask. No problem, Carter.
Damn, we did get a thumbs down. How about that?
I don't know, but whatever.
It's okay, guys.
Enjoy yourself. Let's see. Did we answer everything so far?
Yeah.
Haircuts. We had a lot of chat about the standing liner tool.
Yeah.
Bryce would have been a great person because he knows those tools pretty well.
Yeah, I think if Bryce is still listening, hopefully he is. I'm gonna actually try to reach out to him and see if he can jump on the live feed and see if he can talk about that tool, because he's used that a lot over the past couple of months. So
And Rick, definitely let me know when you get it. Let me know what you think.
yeah, definitely. All right, it looks like we don't have any questions. You want to draw it to an end or talk about huh?
Oh,
Go
VIP
for it,
2.0.
Dave.
What? Hold on. Go ahead, guys.
What do you say?
So go ahead. I'm just trying to type this up real quick.
I'm Ryan from RPS Dent Repair. Check me out on Instagram, YouTube. Not even YouTube. I'm not even on YouTube.
See, we're getting them.
You need to be.
Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn, Snapchat. Check it out. We're still looking for a tech also. If you want to send your resume over, we're also looking for a helper. RPS Dent Repair at Gmail.
Yep.
David, Windy City Dent Repair out of Chicago. YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, Windy City Dent Repair.
Go for it, Chris.
Oh, I didn't hear. He was breaking up. Chris, Dentless Touch, Washington, D.C., Instagram, LinkedIn, Facebook, Twitter, all that good stuff. If you guys are listening, please, if you want us to talk about different topics, just leave it in the chat. We'll go back and look at the topics that you want us to, talk about, and hopefully have it for the next show. Rick, Bruce, and Dance. So definitely, we would love you guys' input. Don't forget to hit that thumbs up button. Please share this Q&As. At least share the time. I know Ryan and me. I think Dave, you were probably ready, right, today?
What?
No. Every week, there's always us kind of doing a mad dash to get to keep these.
No, we were good. We were good.
You were good today. So I know. Yeah, last week you were. Please, hit that thumbs up. We appreciate all that love. And then if you have any topics, definitely leave them in the chat. Message us. Ryan, email if you have any questions during the week. We have no problem answering it. I think Instagram is the best messaging system for me right now, or email. So what about you guys? If anybody's want to reach with y'all, so
they can just call.
Call.
They can call me or email. I had some good conversation with two guys from last week.
Right.
Spoke to them on the phone, so it was some good conversations and some really good questions.
Good. Yeah, Instagram DM for me, and then email as well. I got 2 hats that I do need to send out to 2 viewers.
Yeah. Dave's giving hats out, guys. So.
I didn't. I gotta get more made. No, but I do have 2 viewers here that I'd asked for them, so I'm gonna go ahead and send those out. I haven't forgot about you guys.
Yep.
It's a good one, fellas.
All right, guys. Thanks for watching. See you next week.
See ya.
See you later.